This young man here from Uzbekistan, his name is Oliver Bek Kodirov, 22-year-old. He was charged earlier for issuing or uttering threatening, challenge to President Obama. But I think the court ruled that basically that was First Amendment covered. So now the big boys come back and charge him with aiding terrorists. And that too looks as if it's going to be tossed because you can't aid yourself. You got to be aiding somebody else. You know, it's either he's a terrorist. From the evidence, he wasn't harming nobody else or getting stuff out of people. That's the information I have so far. But his choices now, and he's recanted his first not guilty plea. I don't know if it went to the appeals court and all that, how it's going to happen. Maybe they're going to make a plea deal or whatever. But he stands to get like 40 to 50 years in jail. And in my mind, it seems as if he has waited and known that if he goes back to Uzbekistan, that he stands a chance of dying, from hunger or want or whatever. And in jail, he'd be cool. Nice clothes, warm, television. Just to be confined, but he would be okay. He maybe will die in prison. And to him, that might be the better choice than to go back to Uzbekistan. But I remember my own little experience, and I'm wondering if it's something similar to his. Now, I support President Obama. I love the guy and the president, and I would like to see him succeed. So when he was coming to Puerto Rico, I noticed a variety of things started happening. Where I was staying, some new guys came in. And on the day that he was there, they dressed up and they went to various positions. So I figured like they were maybe Secret Service. But some of them stayed on. However, from the first time I went to Puerto Rico and I went to this, institution to stay and so on, there was a guy behaving obnoxious and very, sort of conspicuous and rude and so forth. So I began to call him the governor. But I didn't say, so I called him the president, and he like that. Mr. President. And then he come up with a regular profile thing. He borrows money from me. He lend me $5, give him back $7, and he keep that up. He says that he was born in New York. He's a school teacher. But my understanding is that he's from the Dominican Republic. And if he were from New York and a teacher, he wouldn't be doing no security job in Puerto Rico and living where I was living. He would be teaching again and, have a real life. And he says that he has his wife in divorce in New York, and he has some new girlfriend in Dominican Republic where he sends all his money and this games he's playing with me. But he was talking to me several times about Puerto Rico being independent and the revolution and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering, he don't seem to me to really be an American. His attitude is kind of like ordinary and cheap, like some third world country he grew up in. And even his accent and the way he speaks don't seem to be Americanized. So I agree that he came from overseas. And then for an overseas person to be talking so criminal and all that, I just find it very amusing. And in other words, the amount of times he talked to me about Puerto Rico independence, he figured that I would buy the idea and start talking like that. But I know basically that it's not viable. And the American government doesn't want to hear that. So if I were believe that Puerto Rico should go independent, I would just keep quiet. I wouldn't talk about it. Now, close to the time that the president was supposed to come, he changed the discussion. And he's talking, he wants to kill the president. And I'm saying like, he's talking loud and several times. And I'm saying like, how nobody come and arrest this guy? He's been saying this for almost a month. And one day in particular, we were at a certain place to eat, and he sat at the end of the table. It's a 6-person table, and he was on one end, and he has a seat reserved for me next to him in the middle of the section. So he started talking the same thing, but he wanted to kill the president. I said, man, how you could be saying that, bro? Supposedly he got arrested. He said, no, I'm talking about the president of the college, the president of the bank. I say, any killing you're talking about, it's a problem. And not too long after that, or just around that time, a guy came and put a backpack on the desk, on the table, at the vacant seat next to me. So it seems to me that he started talking this let's kill the president thing. I'm hoping I get into that same discussion with him now. You see, nothing happened to him for all this conversation he's going on with killing the president. But if I only join with him and start talking anything like that, I believe in that bad fact there was a recorder, tape recorder. I had to be recorded, and they would ignore him and just take me and shred me up. And you know, he kept this thing up. So you recall I had a video online where a bus driver beat me up, and he's trying to play my friend, but I mean this crazy guy that talking about killing the president and all this, and independent Puerto Rico and the violence and the crime and all this stupidness that's coming down later and so forth. So he's telling me, man, you shouldn't take the guy picture. The guy was saying in Spanish, don't take my picture, don't take my picture. So in other words, and his face got serious, and his voice was very aggressive and raspy. So all this talking, trying to be my friend, you know, I'm looking at this, you know, I'm looking at the whole picture. In conclusion, if I were naive like this guy here, or if I felt like my homeland is so poor that I don't stand a chance, I have no education, no money, and then jail in America would be the option. And also I might have started talking like him, because he's very dominant, very loud and very rude, and just to cooperate with him and just to you know, sort of avoid him being aggressive and trying to dominate you, start sharing his views. But I have my own views. What if I told him that Puerto Rico should become a state? Would he listen to that ever and start talking like that? I said I want the president to have a second term. Would he be talking with that? So why he's trying to talk to me in these kind of revolutionary ways, hoping that he's going to catch me to speak like that? So I'm just wondering how this guy got involved with this kind of discussion, whether somebody met him. Because you see, he looked Muslim, because Uzbekistan I think is a Muslim place, and maybe you know, something in there is something, I don't know, yeah, hate America or whatever. And if somebody keep talking to him about something, then over time it becomes like his idea, and he starts to talk about it. And then just as how the guys from my country were trying to sell me the idea of, you know, you need to get the guns and so forth. I mean, I'm just wondering if somebody put this idea to this guy and then he went off with it and then bam, he got arrested. I think basically this guy should just be deported, because I mean, you're just wasting time here. Put him in jail, feed him for 40 years, when he could go back to his country and die over there, and you know, he can't come back here. He's not no threat as far as I could see. So from my experience, I'm just wondering if some of these people are, you know, brainwashed into talking stupid. Another thing what I find is that people will tell you, and my Secret Service guys from my country told me something like this: if somebody leave a bag with you and tell you watch it, stay away from it and just keep an eye on it. Don't, you know, stand close by it. In other words, don't exercise control over it, because it could be something, a bomb for example, it could blow you up, or it could be some illegal substance or something. So if somebody comes and, you know, the police come and check it out, I'm right there, I'm going to be involved in it. So go over the road, watch it, and see if this guy already come back. In fact, you only do it for some people that you really know, you know, for a long while. So the folks could do stuff like that, and then he comes right up and then find you with it and charge you with all kind of stuff, take you in jail, put you on medication, you can't think straight, get you a public defender who don't care. They tell him, man, listen, man, we get you some more work, man, some bigger bucks jobs, you know, just, you know, let us fella plead guilty to a lesser charge, and then we give him 40 years in jail and the whole 9 yards. So, you know, I basically, my experience is so vast and so weird that I just don't believe nothing, you know what I mean?